evening, darling. It's Thursday, June 12th, 2025, and I'm coming to you clean-faced, comfy, and emotionally held together by a bottle of homemade wine from my dad's stash and the suspicious silence of two homeschool children. Yes, I am reporting live from a house full of baby Keats, breastfed twins who still treat solid food like it's a personal insult, and a homeschool planner that now doubles as a coaster for said wine. We are moisturized, we are unbothered, we are wearing stretchy pants with confidence of a woman who's seen some things. So pour yourself something. Coffee, tea, wine, generational trauma, and let's get into it. Operation Cold Feet. Are we actually invading Greenland? At a House Armed Service hearing this week, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth refused to say whether the Pentagon has contingency plans to invade Greenland. Instead of just saying no, he told lawmakers, "Our job at the DoD is to have plans for any particular contingency." Translation, we're not saying we're going to storm your glacier, but we might have a Pinterest board for it. Left-leaning outlets are calling this a soft launch of imperialism. Center-leaning voices are like, "Sir, blink twice if you're joking," and the right is brushing it off with a, "Relax, it's just planning." But let's not forget, the orange overlord literally tried to buy Greenland once. Now his defense secretary won't say we won't take it by force. This isn't planning, it's preheating. Greenland, sweetheart, you might want to lock your front iceberg. From potential polar land grabs to Middle Eastern flashpoints, let's talk about a man who just can't resist a geopolitical cliffhanger. Not imminent, but could happen. Trump on his Israel and Iran. Trump said this week that Israeli strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities is not imminent, but could very well happen. Because what's a little global tension without a sprinkle of foreshadowing? Left-wing media is clutching pearls and pointing out this kind of language sets the stage for conflict. The center is trying to make sense of the ambiguity, asking, why say it at all? The right is pumping fists like it's a pay-per-view rematch between Israel and Iran. And here's the thing, Iran is ramping up uranium enrichment and ignoring international inspectors. Israel has been warning of a strike, and Trump just tossed a match while claiming to carry a fire extinguisher. This isn't strategy, it's Shakespeare with drones. And just when you thought the tension couldn't get any higher, we cut to a State Department email that basically says, "Don't go outside." Don't wonder, U.S. Embassy staff locked to Israeli cities. The U.S. just restricted all diplomatic staff in Israel to Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, and Beersheba. No day trips, no detours, and definitely no countryside vibes. The left is calling this a clear sign of rising danger. The center is noting how this limits diplomatic mobility in a high-stakes moment. The right is calmly saying, standard protocol, don't panic. But let's be real, when embassy staff can't even leave their zip code without triggering a Pentagon email, it's not protocol, it's foreshadowing with a seatbelt. They're not worried about bad weather, they're worried about incoming fire. Now that we've had our full course meal of chaos, crisis, and Cold War cosplay, it's time for a spicy little sampler platter. Here's this evening's quick hits. Trump brings back tariff blitz. Unilateral tariffs are coming within weeks. Because why trust diplomacy when you can play whack-a-mole with trade? Atmospheric CO2 hits record high. CO2 levels are hotter than ever. The planet's on fire, but go ahead. Ban plastic straws again. Troops in LA as immigration protests heat up. Over 4,000 guard and Marines deployed. Nothing says we hear you like Humvees. Moscow strikes in Kharkiv. U.S. to cut Ukraine aid. 3 dead, funding slashed. Democracy on sale, half off while supplies last. Trump mobilizing troops for liberation of LA, says he'll liberate the city with military force. Because if there's one thing LA needs, it's tanks on Sunset. Newsom sues Trump over troop deployment, state sovereignty, now a courtroom drama. It's like Judge Judy, but with nuclear codes. Peaceful protests in Texas. Abbott sends the guard anyway. San Antonio stayed chill. Abbott didn't. Sir, they brought signs, not siege towers. And after all that, we need a little hope. Something pure, something unbothered by men with microphones and missile envy. Tell me something good. France just gave the ocean a VIP section. French Polynesia just dropped one of the biggest do not disturb signs on Earth, creating a massive marine protected area over 500,000 square kilometers. That's bigger than California and home to whales, coral reefs, and sea turtles, who deserve a break from oil rigs and sonar bullshit. It bans industrial fishing, deep-sea mining, and all the usual capitalist chaos. Plus, it was co-designed with indigenous leaders. Actual policy rooted in respect for nature. Imagine that! Translation, the ocean just got its own luxury spa. And no, you are not invited. And that's your SassCast for today. Brought to you by Bearskin, Fluffy Clothes, 50-something birds, 4 feral children, and a glass of homemade Cabernet that is absolutely not being sipped out of a measuring cup right now. If you feel a little more informed, a little more empowered, or at least a little more entertained while hiding in your laundry room from your responsibilities, like, comment, and send this to someone who could use a dose of sass and sanity. I will be back tomorrow, clean-faced and slightly wine-stained, with more news, more nonsense, and more reminders that soft pants are a lifestyle, not a phase. Stay comfy, stay cheeky, and for the love of your sanity, keep the cork in reach.